Wearable art is not new, but every work of art is as unique as its creator, the artist's fingerprint, a window to their essence. Art feeds the soul, and since I can remember, I have always been surrounded by art, since I grew up in my family's business, a framing shop and art gallery. My name is Amelie On, and for these reasons, I have focused my Capstone project on, once again, reimagining art as wearable so I can surround myself in a visual art couture. As a fashion designer, I'm also an artist, and my media became the materials used in the visual arts: canvas, paint, brushes, and wood. Growing up in a framing shop, I have been exposed to many types of art and the materials used to best showcase them. So I have seen how a simple piece of canvas can become a masterpiece. This was my inspiration, to turn an ordinary stretch of canvas into a wearable piece of art using the materials and techniques of the visual arts. Once inspired to go the way of Wiley, Calder, and Miro, the next step was to create a fashion design that would incorporate the art I'd be making. My research led me to the fall 2015 couture collection of designers Victor and Wall. It exactly captured my objective for this project: create something wearable using materials from the visual arts. To make the project more unique to me, I consulted the book Pattern Magic by Tomoko Nakamichi and the designs of Shingo Sato of the TR Cutting School, which covered geometric pattern designs, which play an important role in my project. The last step I took before sitting at the table to design the piece was to review 1970s fashion, specifically retro swirl patterns and early 20th century kaleidoscopic geometries of the Italian fashion designer Don Emilio Pucci. Finally, I was ready to hit the drawing board and create. Instead of creating my patterns by hand, I chose the more organic approach of the ancient Turkish water marbling technique called Ebru. Originally used for paper designs, Ebru can also be used for fabric surface design. In my case, I used the technique to create patterns on the canvas that would become a high fashion garment. Each piece of canvas will have marbling designs with different color schemes. Modern water marbling requires material to be pre-treated with a mordant called alum in order for the paint to bite or adhere onto the fabric. The painting solution, or size, is a combination of water with a thickening agent, like carrageenan, into which inks of various colors are floated. A hurdle to overcome became finding a container large enough to allow the canvas to lay in a flat position to avoid creases so that the inks could adhere smoothly and not result in a smeared design. I had to custom make a container pulling from materials found at the framing shop, such as plexiglass, framing staples, silicone, and wood. The important step was maintaining the canvas flat as I submerged it into the different colored size, so custom stretchers were constructed for each canvas piece. This wooden frame is used to stretch canvas before it is framed in the shop, so I stretched my canvas before submerging it in the painting solution. After creating the patterns, the stretchers would help in drying the canvas. The final step to the process was to heat set the ink with a steam iron. Sewing canvas can be a challenge, being a thick material that requires special thread and needles. My industrial machine made the task manageable, especially when joining the different forms in my attempts to unite the various patterns I had created. The dress now only required some accessories, so it was back to the framing shop. Final touches to complete the artwork were found in the bins of framing scraps and hardware. Miniature versions of assembled frames and a twist on hanging hardware completed the adornments to this one-of-a-kind creation. The final product would be a communion of fine art and high fashion, sewing and framing techniques of visual art couture. Completed and framed, my capstone creation is hanging in a gallery of my own. Panels of canvas imbued with ancient art, inspired by the modern, made with contemporary materials, both reimagined and repurposed. This design is as unique as each artist is, as I am.